I know you don't.
All right. It's, it's 10:30 to get started, so we don't lose too much of the day. Some people wondering. So welcome to IndieWebCamp MIT 2016 edition. We did this here last year as well. I want to set the stage by showing a short video. Found here. Yeah.
Like this.
People of this also bought this.
Can't change what the web is
Buffer.
and how, but we can change what it will be. A better web starts with your website.
So that was actually a Squarespace ad that I hijacked and turned it into our ad. But yeah. Also, come on. There we go. Yeah, that was a Squarespace Super Bowl ad from a couple years ago that I hijacked. It's now an IndieWeb ad. I thought it was very appropriate because it demonstrates the mess that the internet has become. And a better web starts with your website. I like that message. So, brief history of IndieWebCamp. This exists because we believe that it's important to control your own online presence and your identity online, both in terms of the actual data that you're creating and creating data that you have control over where it's going, but also giving you more control over the user experience of your site and how people interact with you online. When you're limited to what some arbitrary company of this year or 5-year period decides what you can do, then that's less interesting and less interesting to the concept of the open web. So myself and Contact and welcome Contact and Amber and Crystal in 2011 we organized the first IndieWebCamp in Portland, and have been doing it since then, and it's been growing into a number of cities, this one included. The principles. I'm sure you've all been to the wiki, IndieWebCamp.com. Lots of stuff here. It can be overwhelming sometimes, but a lot of good stuff on here. The principles page gives a nice overview of what we believe in and what we focus on, and sets the scope of the discussion. So primarily, the goal is to help you own your data, and we believe the best way to do that is by having people build things for themselves and actually create things that they rely on themselves, rather than trying to create a product that's going to solve all the world's problems all in one go. The best way to create solutions that last is to create things that you rely on yourself. And the other really important piece is that we really like to focus on user experience first rather than protocols or code. Code is secondary to the goal of what we're trying to do, which is help people communicate and have you represent yourself online using tools and mechanisms that you believe in. So the user experience of that and the design of that is what people actually see. So it is more important than what the code is underneath. You can replace the code and keep the experience the same. We also believe in taking a number of different approaches to solving problems rather than saying this is the only way to do things. So you'll see a lot of differing opinions from people in the community, which is great and lets us not get boxed in and lets us explore multiple solutions to the problem at the same time. Also have fun, because that's how I'm sure a lot of us got started on this, is hacking together an ugly web page a long time ago, and it was fun. And let's keep doing that. The other thing that's worth pointing out in terms of logistics is we have where'd it go? We have a code of conduct, which is pretty straightforward. There's a TLDR version at the top. Basically, it's be nice. You can read the full thing here. If you do at any point have any concerns, feel free to come up to myself or any of the other organizers. Amy and Sandro is and Tontek. Just forget that. But he is real, I promise. Yeah, so the way that the IndieWebCamp events work, day one today is the unconference day sessions. So as soon as we're done with the intros, we'll go ahead and actually make the schedule for the rest of the day. We have just this room.
Sometime between 2 and 2:30, and kind of we have a window where we have 2 rooms.
We have a window where we have 2
time,
rooms.
we should end up at a room that's just down the hall.
So we basically have one track for today.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to get other rooms down.
Okay. We might be able to also like have smaller sessions out in the common area if it's like 4 people or something. Except during lunch. But yeah, today is the unconference day where we'll pick topics we want to talk about. Maybe if you want to, usually somebody will put up a session that will be sort of teaching something, or sometimes there's sessions that are just discussing things that don't exist yet. We'll get there. We'll get there in a little bit. Lunch today, around 12:30. Lunch is being brought in, and then we'll have sessions throughout the end of today. Tomorrow is the hack day, and the idea is to actually build stuff based on what we talked about today and make some sort of progress on your own site that you can then show at the end of tomorrow. So we'll do some short demos here coming up of what you have working today, anything you want to show on your site, and then tomorrow we'll be showing what you did tomorrow. And I think we stopped calling it Hack Day now that I just said that out loud, because hack has a sort of connotation of writing code, and that's not necessarily what we're suggesting. But basically, the idea is to build something tomorrow, create something, and if that is designs or sketches for your site, that's absolutely great, just as well as making something that does involve code. So either way is totally fine. Also want to sponsors who are providing space. MIT is providing the space, and then Enelnet and Sovereign were able to have coffee and lunch here brought in thanks to them. So shout out to them. And yeah, so let's. First thing we're going to do here as a group is introducing yourself and demos. So the idea with demos is to just quickly say who you are, and if you have a website already, show something on your website that you either got working recently or are particularly proud of. If you don't have a website, that's fine. Maybe say what you are interested in doing or having on your website, or what's your goal by the end of the event. And then after we do demos, we'll do the session scheduling. So I'll save that for a little bit. But yeah, so I guess we want to start with the demo. I can start since I'm already up here. I kind of want to push my luck and do a live demo from my phone. So, because live demos are always a good idea, especially when they're not practiced. Let's see how this will work. So I should have probably started with showing my site. She doesn't have my phone. Wow. The cord is so much heavier than the phone. Cool. So here's my website. It's aaronparking.com. I post things on my site. Here's some articles. I have things like bookmarks, and I have photos. And what I've been doing with photos is using Instagram to post, because it's hard to find a good workflow that actually works for posting to my site. I don't want to have to use a web form and click a tiny little upload button. But I've been looking for a better workflow to post photos to my site for a while, instead of relying on Instagram. So what I just got working is let's do a real live demo. Take a picture of the room. Everybody wave. All right. Take a picture with my camera app. I'm going to open up the photo here. Oh, it's switching into now you don't see what I'm seeing on my screen. Yeah, cool. So I put the little share icon from the Photos app, and normally you get this list of what apps you want to send a photo to, mail or message or whatever. But I just added this app, which is what I use to post to my site, which is called Quill. And now if I tap that, it opens up this little thing. And I can choose where I'm going to post it to. I can say, hi from IndieWebCamp MIT. Sure hope this live demo works.
So he's already passing off responsibility for the third person.
And with any luck, that's on my site now. So let's find out if it works. Gosh, come on, come on. Looks like it didn't work. Okay, it worked yesterday. That's how I got that one on there. I'm still ironing out the kinks on this. But yeah, the idea is that I have a native app extension, which is what that's called on iOS, where any app that can create a photo, I can now post it to my site directly. So hopefully by the end of tomorrow, I will have that working better. So that's my done. If you want to show something, you're welcome to plug into this. Otherwise, you can use this laptop. It's not mirrored, though.
That's website showing the build time of your battery usage.
It is.
It's amazing.
How do I,
Plug your laptop, please.
No, it's my phone.
Your phone? Wow.
It just should read updates.
By any chance of time zone?
I don't think so. I think it's
you've got time zones down.
I got time zones pretty well.
I'm Amy. This is my website where I post notes, all the stuff that I would post to Twitter, articles, likes, bookmarks, reposts. It doesn't look great because I'm not a designer. And I use Quill, Aaron's posting client, to post all that stuff. But what I've been working on most recently is more specific kinds of posts. So I do event posts and journey travel plans. My site's really slow because I don't have any paging still. So I do, when I have flights and stuff and train journeys, I post a lot there mostly so I don't forget. And I also have, since the 1st of January this year, I've been logging everything I buy and supposedly posting it with a photo, but I have a bug. So for each day, all my purchases are on /stuff. And so what I've been doing to post those is making little mini clients for those. So Burrow is my check-ins app. So I do vague check-ins. So I sign in with IndieWebCamp, which is how you sign in for the wiki and stuff. This is the most exciting part. And I'm back. So I just check in when I'm home, office, in transit. So I made this because I was posting queries directly to my website for checking for a while. And now I just have buttons that I can hit. The app I use for posting my purchases is Obtainium. So it loads the last 10 photos I SCP to my server, and then I can choose one of those. I was also logging on my food for a while. Oh, that's not that. Hang on. Which is just a string and some tags. But I've not been logging that for a while because it got really tedious. And what I want to do maybe the next couple days is, oh, and I also, the one for events and travel plans is this one, so I fill in everything and it shows up. So what I want to do the next couple of days is add the ability to update and delete posts from these clients because they can only create right now. Let's see.
Hello everyone, my name is Samir. I'm new in the state, so basically I haven't built my own website yet, but I'm working on a project because I have some personal interest in it. I was doing a research over a couple of problems that I'm having with this website, and I ran into his website, and it was very interesting along with the information, and I'm talking about that. So I saw a couple of, I think on YouTube, a couple of lectures for him, and my website has two main parts. One of them is interfering with I need interface that's strong, flexible, and very attractive for the end user, and I'm focused on the engine. I had the first problem, which is kind of had me to do all kind of research to figure out a way to make it as light as possible, flexible, also more attractive for the end user. And this has brought me to the website, and I saw the MIT camp, and I thought I would come and ask. And since I'm here introducing myself, so I'm basically from hell on earth nowadays. So I don't know if anyone knows Syria. So I'm a political activist over there. I was subject to torture. This is why I had to leave. Eventually I'm here. I can't go back. I never thought, I was obsessed with programming since I was 14, even though I graduated electrical engineering, but I never thought a hobby could be something that I could work on a day-to-day basis. One of the things that was really, by the way, this is intimidating. I don't speak in public, so it's taking its toll on me. One of the things that I found really annoying is that the CSS3 isn't really evolving that fast because you don't have that much flexibility with it as you need. You need to rely on JavaScript a lot, and then your website becomes heavy, and then I don't have resources like all of you guys. Maybe you go to schools over here, you know all the resources that you need. I'm trying to build one step at a time, and I'm getting all sorts of difficulties going through that. This is basically the basic introduction for myself. I don't know exactly how to start, and if anyone would like to know the concept behind my website, I would be glad to talk about it. Would you like to, anyone now or?
You come to the right place. So.
Thanks you. So I was hoping to ask you about a few things actually, but let me give you an idea about my website. This website is based on personal interest. Before the revolution, I was a businessman. I had a business of my own. I was very active, very much alive. After I got caught, I was in survival mode for until a year and a half after I came to the United States. After that, I dropped. And I'm building something to figure out exactly how, or making a pattern, how the brain drops in terms of just making a pattern for human behavior. If anyone interested in this kind of stuff. So I'm building an engine that could be put behind any kind of app that will learn the person as a person. So it will learn Anne as Anne. It will not compare to anyone. It will only learn Anne. So it will direct all kind of learning and let me say it in this way, redirecting and to her best positions or her best ways or her best methods. Maybe this kind of engine could be put behind anything and it will learn about the person. So there's no comparison, there's no, it's not one single algorithm. It's far more complicated. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. And this is the main idea. So basically, I'm building now the web page, and I've changed my mind 400 times. I've deleted everything 400 times. I've started over 400 times. It's frustrating to think that some of the questions that why CSS, for example, doesn't have something that we can select several classes from within the CSS instead of building function in JavaScript and then add event listener for on click on over here, and I want to make, for example, on click over here, several things do change in terms of visual rather than anything else. Not like consider several divs here and there, and I want to change the background of all of them. I don't need to put classes or different classes for all of them. And why CSS, for example, don't have something like we have an ID that, or between brackets, I can read all the classes within the CSS. This is the main idea. One of the problems that I have. It's not as that, it's far more complicated than that, but I'm trying to simplify it. This is about me, what I am going through. As far as, I think that's about it for now.
Yeah, you should feel free to suggest a CSS session, it sounds like, so we can
I mean, I have having all sorts of problems with the CSS in particular, because I'm building too much JavaScript and I need to minimize it as possible.
Yeah, sounds good for a session topic to dive into that.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Doing great.
Thank you.
Do you have a Apple HDMI? Let's see if it works.
Let's find out. This is the problem with using regular laptops.
I have to unplug this one first.
I'm local to the area, and I was just going to show you some of the fun things I did a little while ago. I haven't been able to work much lately because I've been super busy at work. But anybody who uses Facebook, I'm sure, learned about their whole reaction emojis now. I keep them too. And so I was going to show off. If you look, I have people click respond. Anybody who replies on my site or on the segmentation project with a single emoji, it'll come back and treat it as, rather than a comment, as a reaction emoji or reaction. And you can kind of see who's posted what. And let's just see if it still works. So I'll respond to, and this is my own posting UI from my site. I'll respond to my own URL with just alien. Sounds good. And you get to Twitter, just click things up. And let's see if it works. Wi-Fi has been doing trouble this morning. So of course it's not going to do it because that would be too good. But if you do it, I don't know what statements are. Okay. Now I'm just challenged to do it. I can actually have my own app too, which is one of the things I want to work on tomorrow. I did a web app that compiles, if anybody knows PhoneGap or Apache Cordova. It's a simple web app that literally just is like enter a few fields and then post to my site. No, this one works because I did it this morning. So I'll just show that real quick. And I'll post the code I'll be breaking down. The server didn't get post error, so we'll get the server. Got one thumbs up. Like. Just close that. And we'll see if that works. At least I can show something. And there we go. That felt probably a lot, but it was the best. So, yeah. I have a lot to work on still. I don't think I can do it, but pretty much game for anything, right?
Yeah, just close my chair. Sweet. Yes. So I'm Cassie. I came last year and didn't have my own site, but ended up buying Cassie.wtf. There's no meaning, because that WTF TLD came out like 2 weeks before that. So Cassie.wtf is my blog. Right now it's running WordPress. I have HTTPS using Let's Encrypt. Connected to mobile device. That's okay. I mostly use it to record like songs that I'm listening to, stuff like that. But also have like, coloring pages that I do. I have an about page and a portfolio of other sites that I work on occasionally. I'm using Tor, so it's a little slow. But yeah, so I set up like a few different websites. I'll put the link here. But I don't think I'm going to do a ton of work on my personal site tomorrow. I really have a lot that I want to do. But probably going to work on Sensible, Minnesota, which is a nonprofit that I run the website for. And right now, we're running Known, which follows all the IndieWebCamp kind of principles. But the front pages are kind of ugly if you're talking about like organizational type stuff. So the plan is tomorrow to transfer over to a WordPress site that I've set up. And then we'll still have Known running on a subdirectory, so we can still use all of that to post our social media, which I think will work out a little bit better. We're also using Let's Encrypt on here for HTTPS. And then Kurt's going to talk about some other stuff that we've set up as well for Sensible. Whichever of those. This is just the WordPress site, but
Yeah, me and Kathy work on this website together. It's a nonprofit organization. Or do you want to show that off real quick? Or?
Yeah, we can show this off. So this is all just WordPress. Has our blog if you wanted to volunteer with us. I set up WooCommerce, so we have a store. What else? Oh, and there's a donation like plugin that I set up as well, but that's pretty much it.
So last year when we were here for MIT, we were interested in getting a Onion site set up, which is a tourism service, and we just got that figured out. It was like a couple months after we left here, we figured out how to get that going. So our whole site now works on this Onion address right here. And so any page that you go to, you can view it either from the regular domain or from this domain. And we have the same thing set up with OwnCloud, which is a free and open source version of Dropbox or like a Google Drive or something like that. So we can access that from the Onion site as well. We also figured out how to get Nginx to put known in a subdirectory, which was kind of not something that people had done before as far as we knew, and then put that gist up onto GitHub just to contribute back to the community. And just real quick, this is how we set up the Onion address. It was fairly simple, but I haven't put the gist up, so I just wanted to throw that on here real quick for you guys. But I think that's about it. And also, I bought the domain freekurt.com, and tomorrow I plan on getting that set up with IndieWeb sort of things and get that going, because I'm doing IndieWeb stuff on a personal site, just on this nonprofit site, and I'd like to get going on that.
My name is Ann Fassetti. I am retired, newly retired, and like Samir, I'm just getting going on a personal website that I have a bunch of information to share about something. And but I'm really just learning. I've for years, when I was working for Boeing, participated in the W3C, so I know several of these people through that venue. And I was instrumental in bringing the web technology into Boeing for the last 20 years. But that doesn't, I was more like a geek translator than I was a geek. And so now is my chance to learn to do some of this stuff on my own. Amy's been off and on for the last every 6 months I see her, and she's been helping me get a site, but we haven't quite managed to actually set it up. We're hoping to make some breakthroughs just in the next few days. And I'm just looking forward to learning. No, take care. Jump up.
You already have a computer that hooked up?
Oh, do you want to
Show from yours.
You have a permanent "Hello, my name is" T-shirt.
Look more closely.
Okay, so now
If you type it into a browser, it works. From a user's perspective, it's a URL. Doesn't matter what the spec says. Turns out.
that one? Sure.
let's see. So
it doesn't mirror, so you have to like look over there.
Doesn't mirror. What you're saying is I have to add multiple Windows support to my website, huh? Okay, hi, I'm Contact, my site's contact.com. And since the last IndieWebCamp was, which one? There, New York. Did New York, right. I've been working on getting photo and video posting working on my site, and I got video posting working, which I'm doing similar to what Aaron was saying with the workflow of using the Instagram app to post. Well, to take video with the camera app on an iPod Touch, and then to use the Instagram client to post, because it does some nice things for video, like letting you crop it and picking a poster frame, both of which are really cool. So the poster frame is the image that shows up. Let's see. Does this have audio? I guess we'll find out.
Something should happen. Oh, that's interesting.
Let's see what happens. Okay. So like this is that's just a static image, but this is a video, and this image that is showing you is a poster frame that I picked specifically that I thought was representative. But if I click on this here, it should hopefully. So that is hosted at Instagram, the video, but it's like hot link. So here's the permalink. And then the other fun part that I got working was posting this video automatically to Twitter, Flickr, and Facebook. So if we go to the, let's see if this works. Alt-click, open a new tab. Nothing like demoing on a machine you haven't used before. All right. And, aha, feature protected. And Aaron's not signed in on it. So one thing I did recently was I decided to take all of my silo accounts private. And the reasoning for that was that I wanted to encourage people to view and to share links to my site rather than the copies I posted elsewhere to Twitter or Facebook or Flickr. These are all public on my site, but private or friends only on all the different silos. So it still maintains the primary use case of Posse, which is that if my friends are on those sites and they're using them and they don't even know what the IndieWeb is, well, they're my friends, they probably know what the IndieWeb is. At least they've heard me say it a few times. If that's where they choose to read stuff, to view stuff on Twitter or Flickr or Facebook, they'll still see my posts there. To them, it's transparent. We were following me when I took the accounts private, so they can still see it there. They don't see that anything has changed, except that they try to share a link from one of those posts to some other friend. That other friend might not be able to see it because they might not have access to that. So each one of those, though, does have a link back to the original post here, saying originally posted on contact.com. And I've already started to see people sharing, like on Twitter and Facebook, the original posts rather than resharing the copies, which is kind of the intent here, is to get people to share more links to independent websites and to direct viewing there rather than just to the stuff that ends up inside the walled gardens. So you keep the convenience of reading while still encouraging people to think and act more independent.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I am from Rhode Island. Just trained up this morning. It's exciting. I graduated with a bachelor's in animal science, and I've kind of been stuck as far as work stuff, so I decided to kind of jump into computer science. I'm back at URI this semester taking CSC 201, and it's going great. I'm learning intro programming, so I'm doing stuff with Python. We're learning Python right now. But I did work with HTML back in high school, my senior year. So I have a little bit under my belt, but not a whole lot. I'm kind of rusty. HTML's changed quite a bit since what was that, 2009. So I'm here learning and kind of absorbing, and I'm excited for the immersion. But it's I don't really have a site. I have a Facebook page, and that's really about it. I kind of just use that right now. So I'm excited to learn and hopefully get some ideas and get something maybe in the works.
I'll go next. Hi, everybody. I'm Dimitri Zagadulin, software developer in distributed systems. I just actually started working with Sandro in the Cross Cloud project here at MIT at the W3C offices, and joined the social web working group. So it's great seeing some of these faces in person for the first time, like Aaron and Tomzak and everybody. As far as my own stuff, I have so I'm fairly new to IndieWeb. I have a personal website on using Octopress, if some of you are familiar with it, which is derived from Jekyll, a static site generation engine. And since Octopress moved to a new major version number and broke all their themes, thought it was a good time to migrate away from it. So I'm going to try for the IndieWebCamp to migrate it to just plain Jekyll and hopefully make it work with some of the IndieWeb tech out here, like the IndieAw. So it'll be a great learning experience. Thanks.
I will introduce myself because you keep mentioning me. I'm Sandro Hawk. I have a big resistance to having my own site, and I've had my own site for a very, very long time, but I tend not to maintain it, so I have lots of different bits of things in various places. So I think I'm finally, maybe this IndieWebCamp going to bring it together into one place. I'm not a big fan of static HTML, so I'll probably do it as just exporting raw data and then having a piece of JavaScript that makes it look like a nice site. Not sure what else to say per se.
Satra. It's great to follow Dimitri and Sandro because they talked about all the things I was going to talk about, which is I have a site based on Octopress as well, and when Octopress upgraded to the major version, it broke a bunch of things, and I'd like to change that to what Sandro mentioned, which is you have an underlying data and you kind of render it with whatever view, and that could be not just my view, but it could be somebody else's view on that underlying data as well. So I'm hoping to pick up some of the things over here, especially the solid platform stuff that's been going on, and trying to see if we can migrate a personal site to that. There's a broader scope of things, so I work here. And one of the things that we produce is a site called neurostars.org. So it's based on biostars.org, which is based on stackoverflow.com. So it's a Django framework for QA type of things. One of the goals is, and again, think about migrating it to a linked data type architecture and trying to allow people to interact with this and pop up these things instead of one single site like Stack Overflow. There could be qa.mit.edu or qa.bu.edu. And all of these are connected to each other because questions that come up on campuses around the country are likely to be similar in nature, but you can extend that in various ways to social questions. I do a lot of work in the mental health space, and that's becoming a burgeoning thing of interest on campuses. So these things can kind of play together rather than on existing centralized social websites where it has a certain issue. Happy to talk about it more.
Benjamin Meltonson. I'm a web developer and a worker-owned cooperative based largely here in Boston with a member in Germany and another member from Nicaragua who should be arriving here today. In Nicaragua, which is on about the same time zone as us, he's up at like 5 a.m., but when he travels, he sleeps until noon. We've done a lot with the Drupal content management system and some with Django. And so far, my IndieWeb experience has been hosting it on with Gnome.com, not even installing Gnome myself, and helping add some IndieWeb things to Pelican, a static site generator. And what I'm going to be working on these next 2 days is just doing basic web mention support in Drupal 8, the newest release of Drupal, which doesn't seem to have it yet. Drupal is a PHP, using PHP, and it's now based on a lot of things in the Symfony framework and using Composer to bring the pieces together. So hopefully if I do it right, it'll be something that could be used by several projects that are now using the Symfony stack as well as Drupal. But it would be nice to have Drupal have good native support for IndieWeb. That's all we want.